Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
You will bring the jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
You will bring the jury.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican, Maurice Verbal Club.
Is that correct?
That's literally not true. I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
All right, we found all the buttons eventually. Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. A few of you have been here the whole time. The whole time. Let's see. We have, what's my background need to be? Super source. Trying to get this figured out the right way. Let's see. 4 needs to be 4. How about that? There we go. Boom. All right, here we go. And get that on there. We are an hour and 39, almost an hour and 40 minutes into the verdict watch in the Brian Walshe trial. The jury heard the closing arguments from the prosecution and defense and then began deliberating just before lunch. They may actually still be at lunch right now. The judge said she's not going to accept a verdict between the hours of 1 and 2 because that's the lunch hour. So instead, we're back here. It is now 2 o'clock, and we're ready in case the jury is also ready. But the judge did encourage them to take their time, not to rush this one. And what do you have for lunch? A little bit of everything, quite literally. I had a cinnamon roll, a little bit of mac and cheese, some chocolate milk. Just the health food. It's just the stuff that's on my diet mostly.
Hello.
I think that's it. That's what I had. Hippie Mimi, welcome to the gallery. Thank you very much. I love that 2-month courthouse color change for you. It looks great. We're going to go, we're going to go here. There. Let me turn off this one.
In front of the Walmart.
We're going to go in front of the Walmart. Sounds like fun. We are here. Thanks all for being here. It looks like you guys had a wonderful conversation. I did not follow all of it. I did have a conversation with Mrs. R.A. who called to me from upstairs and said, "Is it all right if I make the bed now?" After I had a conversation with her after the podcast. If you missed the podcast, you missed why that's significant. But it was nice of her. Let's see. The jury is made of 6 men, 6 women. I saw that update. Anna's mom is not here. Saw that as well. So we're waiting for the jury to come back. The judge picked the foreman. I don't know if it's a foreman or a forewoman, but the judge picked the person, and they will be the foreperson, as is done in Massachusetts and in other courts as well. Sometimes it's tradition, I think, in a lot of places that the jury selects their own foreman. I like that better. I think it's a better system because it removes any possibility of a judge putting their finger on the scales of justice. What makes the judge better suited to choose who should be the foreman? I don't know. I think the jury should choose their own. Of course, in the interest of expediency, sometimes the argument for who gets to lead could be a long and brutal one at the beginning of the deliberation. So, let's see. Let's see. I'm going to warm up some tomato soup and pretend it's a donut. That sounds delicious. It might take a good imagination to make that happen. Red pen flipped to the chat switch, which means I will flip it on my end as well. So the chat is back on. Welcome, Greeners. Greeners was first in chat this afternoon. Congratulations, my friend. You are, in fact, being punished for your promptness. Your punctuality has earned you the punishment of internet ownership. Yes, we're going to sentence you to internet ownership. Everything IP-related worldwide is your responsibility, not just for today, but until we go live again, which will most likely be on Monday. So you just drew the short straw. Weekend duty, that's you. So need some water. I'm starting to think Greaters enjoys being punished. would not be the same without greeners here. I can tell you that. My toddler heard the RA had mac and cheese for lunch, and now that's what he wants. I just had the like my oldest son loves mac and cheese. Well, my oldest son at home right now loves mac and cheese, so he makes it regularly, and he makes enough for him, like a heaping dish of it, and then there's enough for 2 other children from the scraps of that to have theirs, and then what was left in the bowl is what I had. So it wasn't like I ate a meal of mac and cheese. And, of course, it's the nearly instant version from Walmart brand or whatever it was that we got today. I think verdict today, I think you're right. Boxed Walmart special. Great value brand. Not even the good Velveeta stuff or Kraft. What about the time for deliberation prediction? About, 40%? I think I might still have it here. Let me see if I can post it again. Cody Steve, this is what we had.
In front of the Walmart.
Why is it not working? Come on. There it goes. This is what we had. How long would the jury deliberate? We had 2 to 4 hours. 64% of us came in like that. Less than 2 hours, 22%. Obviously, that's sort of off the table now because we're, just about done with 2 hours of deliberation. First thing Monday morning, only 11%. So you do the math, you add up 22 and 64. That gets me to 86%. Which is the majority of us thinking it's going to come in today. I was in the shower and my husband turned the channel. I was sure I heard verdict music and ran out of the shower. Wow. Not yet. We have not had verdict music yet. When it happens, you'll hear it right here, which is funny because right here is the name of the verdict music, like right here, right now, or something. I just had a side of mac and cheese. This is correct. I'm going to take a quick gander around some of the courts that we're following. I realize it's a Friday. I said we were going to court hop. I still intend to do that if I can find something good.
Is that
but
correct?
I don't want to really jump into a lot of landlord-tenant cases, which are typically done on a Friday in many of our favorite courts. Let me see if Judge Boyd is live. I haven't been down there in a long time.
I don't like podiums, Your
Judge
Honor.
Stephanie Boyd. Where's she at? Oops. She has not been live yet today.
If you could just use your words.
Use your words. Let's see. Judge Middleton was live, but he is doing landlord-tenant. Let's see if he has anything else on his docket. Nope. He was done 4 hours ago. Hasn't come back, so it looks like he might have an early out day. Okay, no Judge Middleton. Scrolling through, Judge Simpson's live. He is on landlord-tenant stuff. Let's see who else we can poke our nose into their courtroom. Simpson's landlord-tenant. Just scrolling who YouTube thinks I want to watch, and got it all wrong. Let's see if we can do... who's Royal Oaks? Where's Royal Oaks? Josh says, I can save your time from looking. There is nothing. I've already looked. Let's check out Thurston County. Thurston sometimes can deliver on a Friday. Nope. They were live 18 hours ago. Court 1. Court 2 is not live today. Court 3 is not live today. And Court 4, I guess Thurston is closed down for the day. Yeah. So nothing in Thurston. You're absolutely correct, Josh. Which is fine. We can hang out and talk and just wait for updates. Let's see. Who's Royal Oaks? Somebody, what's the YouTube channel for the Royal Oaks parking tickets? The Arts Beats and Eats tickets we get like months of. Josh says, I guess RA doesn't believe me, he's still looking. I'm just hoping that something, I'm sure nothing is happening right now, but maybe something's happening now. Does that make sense, Josh? It's not that I don't believe you. No one's better at finding court cases than you. Let's see. any Sarah Boone news. There have been some letters. I haven't covered them recently. I think she does have a bone to pick. She's got some issues. Her lawyer communication needs to happen. There's a deadline where appeals need to be filed, or else she basically just will be in prison forever. And the communication between the lawyers is not there. It's breaking down. It's not happening. Daisy Lake is looking for a new trial. Interesting. Let's see. We need Thomas and you to do a impromptu podcast. Corey Richards is coming up next year. Royal Oak, Michigan. I live there. Bête Noire. We like to learn all about what's the courthouse. Can somebody tell me, Josh? Maybe you can tell me who's the judge that handles all the Arts Beats and Eats tickets. Or what's Judge Dad's name? Judge Andrew Kowalski, 44th District. That's the one. It's 44th District. 44th District Court. Oh, that's not him. Let's see if this is it. This is a different thing. Is it 44th District? Yeah. Is Corey Richards a death penalty case? I think so. I think it is. Josh says, breaking news that caught your fugitive in North Carolina. They did this morning. I saw the news of that. It was during the closing arguments, so I couldn't really talk about it very much. But this fugitive has been on the run for a long time, weeks and weeks. I was nervous because he was headed my direction. I was nervous being out there with my kids at night looking at the northern lights when that happened because he was still out on the run and headed my direction. So, okay, 44th District. There is nothing. 6 weeks on the run. Weeks and weeks. That's a long time when you've got all the cops in the whole county, like coming down on you, and drones in the air, and dogs and horses and everything else, and they just couldn't find him. I think he probably had help to escape their searches. The deadline for Sarah Boone's appeal brief has been extended until February 1st, 2026, per motion filed by her current attorney. Not sure if he's talked to her yet, though. Soapbox Rants, thanks for the update. I do think she has the right to have good representation, and if her attorney is not filing timely notices within the allowed time that she wants to have filed and she wants to pursue, she's got reason to be concerned with the court just a little bit. So let's see. He was run for a long time. I remember that. I'm glad they caught him. He's accused of killing his grandma and then like burning down her house or something. So it's not cool. All right. How's your lunch? What did you guys eat? I'm sorry. Are you talking about Sarah Boone? There was a guy pretended to do a documentary about her and got many calls with her. Super deceiving. Wow. Melted cheese with chicken in a small tortilla. What is that called? Is that just a chicken tortilla, or is there a name for that? Jersey Mike's, always a good sandwich. Longhorn Steakhouse, ooh, you ate well. Lettuce wrap, taquitos. Quesadilla, with chicken and cheese. White rice, butter chicken, and naan bread. Josh says, mod chat, we might have something to watch here in the meantime. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. Let's see what we got here. Let's do a quick, let's use this one. Wexford and Misaki Circuit Court. Let's just pop in just and see what's going on down here. As we keep our, it's going to be, what is that? What background am I using? Am I using 4? I'm using 4. 4, box source 4 is going to be 8.
Alone after I listen to what everybody else has to say, but it's up to me. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
There are 3 steps that involve you in the preparation of this report. Number 1, you're going to get a packet of information. I just saw the clerk hand it to the bailiff, and the bailiff handed it to the corrections officer. So you'll get it here in a little while. Open it up, there are instructions. Fill out all the information that you can. It's a good idea to make sure that you're complete and accurate, right? I can tell you things that people don't put down are job or employment history. I want to know if you've been working, because if it doesn't look like you've been working, right?
3 businesses, Your Honor.
Well, make sure you put that information in there, okay? If you've had any other, you told me that you're self-medicating. Well, I want to know, and I don't need you to tell me today right now, but I need to know what it is. Have you been seeing doctors? Is it? And one thing that drives me nuts is when somebody puts down something like schizophrenia, but they don't put down where they were diagnosed, when they were diagnosed, if they've been on treatment, so forth. So I need to know that information, okay?
The microphone has been
So
placed right next to the keyboard.
Step 2, you'll be subject to an interview with an agent from that office. And step 3, Mr. Harrison will receive this report. Generally, it's about 10 days to 2 weeks prior to sentencing. He's gonna have to sit down and go over it with you to make sure it's complete and accurate. So if you're filling it out and you go, geez, I don't remember what the answer is, you turn it in. When Mr. Harris comes back to talk to you about it, you can go, oh yes, I need to put that down. Each party has the right to come back to this court on sentencing day and say, hey, judge, we need to correct this, add this information. Or we object to this language, object to that. Okay, do you understand?
I do, Your Honor.
Right. Do you have any questions for me today about what we have done?
No, you've been very thorough.
Oh, great. Good. At least I earned my paycheck for the last 30 minutes.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good.
Give you 4 stars on Yelp.
Ms. Carey, anything further? I'm going to revoke bond, remand him into custody. That helps keep them so we don't lose them at all. And plus you've got that probation hearing on
I do.
the other county at Seagull.
Yeah. They gave me a bond of 100, but
Yeah, I got you. All right. All right. Plus you're earning credit here anyway. So, and you're earning credit here right now to the other file until that file gets, there's a finding. Anything else, Ms. Carey?
No, sir.
Anything else, Mr. Harrison?
Nothing further from me, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. O'Neill, thank you for your time. We'll see you
thank you so
soon.
much.
Thank you.
I don't want to be earning credit.
Yes, tell George I said hello.
I will actually. Merch is very good. You know, taking pictures.
All right. Thank you.
Who's George? Why is George in the jail? And why is the judge sending messages through other inmates?
And I know that Merch is there as well.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody agrees. Somebody this morning definitely did not.
Now we need to watch this morning.
Our next case is People of the State of Michigan versus Robert Edward Beals. This is case number 25-14127-.
14127
Appearances from counsel, please.
Nick Carnes on behalf of the people.
I'm Jeff Harrison. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Beals. He's making his way up to the table.
All right. We're here today on this file for a final pretrial conference. This case right now appears to be one of 2 still remaining on trial for January 6th. Wait, do we have another one from this court? We
That
do?
one.
No, I'm thinking of a file that I had open like soon.
Okay.
All right, this could be it. What are we doing today?
There is no resolution, Your Honor. At this
Okay.
juncture, the case would be destined for trial on January 6th, that's planned.
Are there any discovery or motion issues that would cause me to have to adjust that? Oh, it's the other file that we have the motion for next Friday that's still on there, but yeah.
That's Mr. Newman, yes.
Yep, copy
indeed.
that, thank you. But anyways, this is also on there. Is this the oldest of the two, Madam Clerk?
I believe so.
It appears to be, yes.
Yeah, all right, so this is it. All right, any discovery issues? I know this involves CSAM, and that means access to the images, things like that.
It does.
Oh,
I don't think there's a quote unquote discovery issue here. I think it's all going to be the evidence that's presented by the prosecutor through the troopers.
Okay, all right.
we're gonna abort.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Your Honor, just as I'm reviewing.
Yeah, we're gonna abort. All right, we are right at the two hour mark. So as we hit that marker, we're 22% of you, I think, just got it wrong. Is what we have. Where's my? How do I turn off camera 1 from this machine? 1. Oh, that's not it. Why did it change? Now I've messed it up and I need to fix it.
Call from Angela.
Happy Friday, Angela. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I just landed like half an hour ago in Copenhagen.
Nice.
I'm going back home. Oh, I wanted to say Switzerland, but yeah, the trip is over.
The trip is over. It's done.
Yeah,
Well,
it's done. But I will be back next year, so that's a good day. That's something to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have? It was a good one, right? It was all
Yes,
good.
it was a great vacation. Yes, it was in the middle of the wedding stuff yesterday, and when I got the info that Walshe is not going to testify and that the defense arrest, and I of course reacted. It's really hard to explain in a language you do not speak what was going on.
Did you say some choice words?
No, but I got my cousin to help me with I didn't, because it was a wedding, so I didn't go into details. I was just very, very surface, very as little as possible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He chose not to testify. We flew through the closing arguments. Brian, the question here from Luca is, what's the worst possible sentence? Life in prison without parole. This is not a death penalty case.
Yeah.
Massachusetts does not have death penalty that I'm aware of. So, yeah, it's. Are you surprised it's taken 2 hours so far?
Well, I'm grateful because I was in the air until I landed 18 minutes before the 2 p.m. your time. So I was like, thank you, jury, for not coming 15 minutes into the deliberation, because I would have been in the air when they started. I was in the air when they started deliberating.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm thinking 3 hours. I feel good about 3 hours. That's 1 hour for lunch, 2 hours for deliberation. So
yeah. What was Sarah Boone? Was like an hour and a half or something?
It was pretty short. I know that. I just don't remember exactly. I should probably have a document that just times all this. Amber could probably make a great chart. She probably already has one of all the times.
Yeah. But. Okay, I have I learned something during my trip here, and I am going to tell everyone because it's a great tip to know if you guys ever travel to Switzerland.
Travel tips with Angela. Yes, let's hear.
Oh yeah, some people may not like it. Also, it's a trigger warning for some, because I think it may not be great to hear.
Okay.
It's trigger warning. It is not a good thing to say no to when a Swiss person offers to pour you a wine. So during these 3 days, I drank a lot of wine. A lot.
A lot. Are you currently inebriated in any fashion, or are you all with us?
No,
Got your full faculties.
no.
Okay, I just had to ask. But
I am. No, I am.
you don't want to insult somebody.
More than
So,
I just want.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it all,
So,
you had to buy it all. I mean, this is not just freebies, right?
Oh, this is freebies because they bought a lot of. It's a wedding, so they bought a lot.
They bought a lot. Well,
So yeah.
when in Rome, right? Is that what
And yeah.
Cool.
So I really hope, back to the case, I thank you, Discord and everyone, for keeping me updated because I couldn't watch it live.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of sad that Brian didn't testify because that would have put in a last nail in his coffin.
I think they got it. They got it already, but I was expecting him to testify based on what the defense had said in the open. I think the judge was shocked too. If you watch that moment back, the judge just about fell out of her chair when he said he wasn't going to testify. They're like, what? Excuse me? But she found out after she'd done 5 hours worth of homework on a bunch of different things about him testifying, and then they're like, never mind, judge is moot. So
someone said somewhere, I don't know where. Someone said somewhere in the comments, what if Brian said, so up until the day before, if he said no to testifying yesterday, so up until Wednesday night, if he was denying, like, oh no, I didn't do it, this is what happened, I found her dead, blah blah blah, and because that's the story they went with. But what if on Wednesday night he confessed and they knew that? I know we will never know this because they can't, disclose lawyer-client privilege. But what if he confessed and then they were like, we can't put you on the stand if we know you're going to lie.
That would be interesting. Obviously, it's just a hypothetical question because we'll never know. But it does seem that the way that Tipton did his closing argument, he's like, when the event happened, when the tragic event occurred, when the unthinkable happened, he described it in such a broad way that it could include murder. It really could.
Yeah.
He didn't say, when she suddenly passed unexpectedly, to everyone's shock and horror, she passed. He didn't say it that way. He basically left this big question mark, trying to, so many times he's like, sudden, unexpected, but he didn't say that about, that it was completely unexpected for Brian. It was just the tragic, when she suddenly, when the unthinkable happened. It did feel like he was dancing around, using his words very carefully around the issue.
Yeah. Okay, I am about to go board a train and go home,
right.
And hopefully we'll get the verdict soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Angela. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It was sudden and unexpected to everyone but Brian, says Red. It seems that way. I really did feel there was a change. Why do you think Tipton opening included Brian testifying? I think that in good faith, he believed he was going to testify. And then as the case proceeded, I think defense thought they would win more points than they did during the trial. Some of the issues that the judge had lingering out there, they mostly went the state's way throughout the trial. Defense pretty much lost all their arguments with the exception of a few, objections here and there. But all the evidence the state wanted in pretty much came in. And so because of that, it made there be a lot of stuff that Brian would be questioned about had he taken the stand that might be difficult to explain. And so the situation did change. But I think he did have, in good faith, a belief that Brian was going to take the stand, and that's why he could argue that in opening as he did. Let's see. 13th Judicial has criminal hearings. Let me see. Are you talking Kansas? Let's see. 13th Judicial. it's Mr. Regier. Mr. Regier's here. We'll go there for a second.
I
What just happened? What are you guys seeing? Oh, nothing. Okay. Box source 4 is going to be...
and have a case review in February, the 11th, I believe, of February. But I didn't go to work release last week because there was a hold from Butler County.
All right. Do you want to apply for court-appointed counsel?
I would really appreciate that, sir.
Okay. Do you have a job?
I do.
Where do you work?
I do subcontract work for an electronics repair shop in West Wichita.
Like
How long have you been in custody?
It's over a week now.
Okay. Then you're self-employed?
Yes, sir.
How often do you work?
Every day when I'm not in here.
I'd be working right now, Judge.
What's
if
your approximate gross monthly income?
My gross monthly income, it varies, honestly, Your Honor, depending on the job availability really in the work.
All right. In the interest of getting this case resolved, I'm going to go ahead and appoint Darren Patterson to represent you.
Darren.
Okay.
Do you have somebody writing stuff down for you?
I can probably have somebody hand me a pencil real quick if you give me just a second. Pencil? I need a pencil and paper. That writes some stuff down for this guy. Can I do that?
I got a stubby little pencil.
Got a stubby little pencil. Let me go to 7 instead on this one. There we go. It's a cleaner audio feed. The man in the top right-hand corner, we sort of love him and hate him at the same time.
One of you guys wants to sit in here for a second and scribble it down with a pen. That's fine, too.
Or Mr. Jones, if you don't have one available.
We're working on it right now, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
All right. It's Darren Patterson. He's an attorney in El Dorado.
Okay.
I'm going to set this case on Judge Lee's expedited misdemeanor control docket, which will be held December 19th at 1:30 by Zoom, December 19th at 1:30.
Okay.
And Mr. Patterson has been appointed. Understand that you may have to pay back some or all of his fees depending on what happens on this case, but he'll be present with you on that date. And hopefully you all can get something accomplished on the case, but you've got a no bond hold, so you're going to have to sit in jail until that court date, which is a week from today.
Okay.
So, Mr. Regier, anything else we need to accomplish on Mr. Jones's case?
Not from the state's perspective, Your Honor.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Jones?
No, sir.
All right. We'll be in recess. You are excused. Thank you at the Sedgwick County Jail for having him available for us.
Thanks.
All right. We've got our live watch in the Brian Walshe court room right above the verdict
All right.
watch
Next
logo.
case we'll take up is State of Kansas versus Mark Adam Lee Fry, case number 25 TR 873. The state appears by Jared Regier. Mr. Fry appears in custody from the Butler County Jail. Mr. Fry, looks like you were picked up on a warrant to show cause, alleging probation violations. The allegations are that you've made no payments in the case, that you've had several house arrest violations, and that you were arrested on December 2nd of this year and did not report the contact.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the violations on house arrest because I was on house arrest until they arrested me.
Okay, well that's
so you're
that's
denying.
what the allegations are. Let's see here. Were you were represented by Darren Patterson?
Yeah.
Do you still need court appointed counsel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you working?
No.
Nope.
How long have
House
you been
arrest.
in jail?
Just since yesterday.
Okay. Well, I'll appoint Darren Patterson to represent you. You may have to pay back some or all of his fees. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, Judge Webster's the judge on your case. She ordered a no bond hold.
Why is that possible?
Well, I don't know.
She's allowed to. It's within her
Says
jurisdiction.
no, held without bond until sees judge.
Yeah. Does that mean any judge or what?
Well, good question. You are seeing a judge right now, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was wondering.
Mr. Regier, what's state's position on bond for Mr. Fry?
Your Honor, if the court is prepared to take up the issue of bond modification, notwithstanding the prior orders in this case, the state does have a recommendation if the court will hear it.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Regier.
Your Honor, in this matter, the state is seeking a high bond besides the allegations in the request for revocation of probation, all of which the state does consider to be quite significant. This is a defendant who the state understands has a quite prolific history of prior convictions, including at least 7 prior habitual violators, 12 prior driving while suspended, 1 DUI, and at least 3 no proof of insurance, and at least 11 property-related felony convictions, as well as at least 18 prior failures to appear as of June of this year. The state, therefore,
FTRs?
would be seeking a high
FTA?
bond in this case, at the very least 10,000 cash or surety. The state would also have the court know for the court's edification that there does appear to be another Butler County case involving the same defendant, 25 TR 2713. State's information as that matter is currently set
For February 9th.
on February 9th, seemingly before Magistrate Judge Webster.
18 failures.
Yeah, I got court on February 9th for the new charge I just got. I don't know nothing about all this failure to appears that he's talking about. I mean, Butler County will charge you for failure to appear if you don't make it, and then they'll just drop it. They don't. I mean, I've always made it to court. You know that everybody in this court system know me that he's a new guy. So I've been around in Butler County my entire life. I don't run from the police. I got a lot of driving on suspended, but I live in Butler County.
I'll set bond at $10,000 cash or surety. I'm going to set your case.
It's 10,000. I would need $1,000 for the bondsman.
Probably around that amount. I'll set this on the expedited misdemeanor control docket.
He gone.
December 19th.
He gone.
At 1:30. That's next Friday. So if you're unable to make that bond, you've got to. That's as quick of a court date as I can give you. That'll be with Judge Lee, December 19th at 1:30. That is by Zoom. So if you do make bond, you need to appear here at the Judicial Center and utilize the courthouse Zoom equipment.
Okay, so if I make bond, of course, on the 19th.
You'll need to show up here at the courthouse.
Yeah, I mean, does that mean that my probation violation is done on the 19th?
If you and Mr. Patterson get something worked out on it, it could be resolved at that time. But
okay, there ain't no way I can talk you down to like $800 bond.
Your Honor, the state has made its recommendation and stands by its earlier recommendation.
I'm going to keep bond at 10,000 cash or surety. All right. Anything else from the state's perspective, Mr. Regier?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Fry?
No.
All right. We'll be in recess.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Yep. Hey, wait a minute. The 19th next Sunday? Wait a minute.
Wait.
They've been giving us the 19th.
19th is next Friday.
Are you sure?
18 failures to appear. That's too many. That's too many. I can understand why it's a no hold or no bond hold. Wow, that sheriff has all his gear on his chest. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Are you Michael Foy?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Foy, it appears you were arrested on some drug-related charges. My notes indicate that the state has not filed charges at this time. Is that correct, Mr. Regier?
That is the state's information, Your Honor.
All right. What that means, Mr. Foy, is the state may be waiting upon some lab results or some other police reports, so they have not filed charges against you yet. That doesn't mean that they won't in the future. If you leave a good address there at the jail, if they do file charges, they'll likely send you a summons, which will have an appearance court date on it. If they can't get you served with a summons, they'll probably issue an arrest warrant. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. I got a good address.
Okay. If you don't have any other holds, then you'll be released this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Does look like the 13th Judicial Circuit, the corrections facility, does use onesies for their inmates.
Are you Jonathan Mays?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll go on the record. There are two cases, both entitled State of Kansas versus Jonathan Lee Mays, 25 TR 187 and 25 CR 179. The state appears by Jared Regier. Mr. Mays appears in custody from the Butler County Jail.
Joe, thank you.
Let's
Yes,
take
Sarah
up
Boone is running out of
25
time.
CR 179 first.
I expect an appeal to be filed in a rushed manner right before the deadline. That's my expectation. Thanks for your support. Thanks for the kind words about this community. This is amazing. Thank you.
In this case, she failed to appear in front of Judge Webster back on October 20th. Judge Webster issued a bench warrant bond forfeiture with a no bond hold.
We might jump from this one down to Judge Stephanie Boyd.
It looks like you were scheduled to appear on both of these cases on that date, Mr. Mays, and you didn't appear. So you have bench warrants
Contact.
issued with no bond hold. So Darren Patterson looks like he represents you on both of these cases already. So he remains your attorney.
He's
I'm
like
going
the
to set
only person that gets assigned
both
cases.
of these cases for hearing on Judge Lee's expedited misdemeanor control docket, which will be December 19th at 1:30. That will be done by Zoom. Darren Patterson will be there with you, and hopefully you all can get this case resolved. I'm going to keep the no bond holds in place.
Sounds good.
As those were the orders of Judge Webster.
Let's jump down to San Antonio where
Mr. Regier, anything else?
Judge
on
Boyd
Mr.
has
Mays?
a officer on the stand here.
And Susie exhibit number 113.
Looks like
take a look at those for
trial's
me?
in progress.
Have you viewed the contents of State's Exhibits 112 and 113 prior to your testimony today?
Yes, I have.
And are they a fair and accurate depiction of your body-worn camera and in-car video at the time that the offense occurred?
Yes, they are.
And except to comply with legal rules, have they been altered in any way?
No.
Okay. At this time, state offers State's Exhibits 112 and 113 tendering to defense firms.
All right, could parties approach?
Sorry, Judge, I thought.
I'm sorry, could parties approach?
Okay, hang on. There's a preliminary hearing docket going on right now with Judge Webster. We were just talking about her. It sounds like Judge Boyd is in the middle of a trial. If you got Exhibit 110, 113, whatever those numbers were, she's in the middle of that. So
And
let's see if we can go
which
back
exhibit
to
are you offering into
to
evidence?
Kansas here.
And we have the Ambrose case is continued to January 13th. Miss Gillette, did you see that?
The girls have added them to my calendar for that day.
Okay, all right.
There's been a lot of moving parts today.
This Judge Webster on the bottom, she's the one that was issuing those no bond holds.
Did you get a hold of Mr. Eason?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. He said he'll be jumping on shortly here.
Oh, okay.
I'm okay with jumping back to Judge Boyd. I just need to
Did
find
he
out
tell
what
you,
the case
Mr.
is about
McClendon, that
first.
years ago I worked with his father?
What?
Yeah, he did. He was telling me about his father and such. So, sounds like he was a DEA officer for quite a while.
Part of the
That's what I'm
Tri-County
saying.
Drug Task Force, yeah.
That's
It's ironic, but not, sometimes it happens. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his, enforcement was his thing. Hmm. Okay, we are on the record in Greenwood County 2025 CR 138, State of Kansas versus Michael David Eason, County Attorney Jill Gillette for the state, defendant in person, and with Attorney William McClendon. This matter comes on for preliminary hearing. Mr. McClendon, any announcements?
Sorry. Yes, Your Honor. We would waive preliminary hearing and the state and operation agreement on this matter that can be resolved today.
What kind of agreement have you reached, if I may ask at this point?
Your Honor, my client would plead no contest to count 2, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. He would have to get a drug and alcohol evaluation as a condition of probation, and standard costs and fines and terms otherwise.
6 months underlying, 12 months supervised probation.
And you're dismissing the rest of the counts, Ms. Gillette, if he pleads to that?
Yes.
All right. All right, Mr. Eason, it sounds like you've managed, or your attorney has managed to get you a plea agreement here where you only have one charge. It is a misdemeanor, so you don't have a preliminary hearing on misdemeanors. How do you plead to unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, to wit, a glass smoking pipe, possessed with the purpose to store, contain, conceal, inject, ingest, inhale, or otherwise introduce a controlled substance into the human body, a Class B non-person misdemeanor?
A bong.
No contest.
By pleading no contest, you don't want to admit the charge, but you don't want to deny it and take it to trial? Is that
Correct.
right? Is anyone making you enter this no contest plea today by any threats or promises other than the plea agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you understand, even though you're not admitting this charge with the no contest plea, you'd most likely be found guilty, having waived your right to trial and being unable to appeal your conviction?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Gillette, have you a factual basis to support a no contest plea to this charge?
I do,
Civil
Your
liability.
Honor. On the 25th day of July 2025, the defendant was seen traveling 92 miles per hour on U.S. Highway 400 by Deputy Penland. He executed a traffic stop on the vehicle.
92.
And
He's hauling.
subsequently, there ended up being a search of the vehicle. In that search of the vehicle, in a backpack claimed by the defendant, there was a canine sniff, by the way. In the backpacks claimed by Mr. Eason, there was a glass pipe with white and burnt residue in it that had drug residue in the pipe.
And did that go to the lab and have the KBI confirm that it was an illegal substance?
Judge, it's been sent to the lab. We haven't received the KBIs back. The field tests were indicative that it was positive for methamphetamine on the field test.
Okay, and the defendant's not contesting that it is, so, well, at least he's not contesting this charge. All right, I will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily entered his plea to unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. Count 2, the state has provided an adequate factual basis to support the plea. I find the defendant guilty of unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. and dismiss on motion of the state the remaining counts per plea agreement. Sentence at this time is 6 months in the county jail.
What?
6 months in the county jail. Now, Mr. Eason, if you don't want to serve that 6 months, here's what you need to do. You need to successfully complete a 12-month probation.
Absolutely, Judge.
I'll suspend that sentence so long as you successfully complete probation for 12 months. It's reporting, so you will have to report to a court service officer, and I'm going to give you their number so you can report to them as soon as this hearing is over. Are you ready to write it down?
No, I got a pen. 1 second.
Uh-oh,
Okay.
That's her pet peeve. Always bring a pen to her court and paper. He's like, what? My lawyer didn't tell me I was going to jail for this. Thought I was going to get a slap on the wrist.
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
All right, you're going to call
867-5309.
3. Tell them you're reporting for probation, and then they'll assign you to a Greenwood County officer. Do you live in the state of Kansas?
Yes, ma'am, but I live in Marion County.
All right. If they can transfer your supervision to Marion County, I would not oppose that. But you must first meet with the 13th Judicial District there in Butler County. Whatever they tell you to do, you have to do. Now, your probation is going to be all standard conditions, and the officers will go over them with you at your first appointment, most likely. You're not to use, possess, consume, or be anywhere near alcohol or illegal drugs. I say alcohol because I don't want you substituting illegal drugs for alcohol and getting addicted to that if you're not already. You're also going to have to get an alcohol and drug evaluation and comply with whatever it recommends that you do. You're going to pay a fine. There won't be any lab fees, as I understand it, Ms. Gillette.
No, I'm going to cancel the KBI lab.
Did you have any fine amounts that you were recommending on this paraphernalia?
I did not, because I want him to get his drug and alcohol evaluation and get followed up on it. And we will release his guns to his father that you mentioned earlier, because he cannot have them while he is on probation.
Release the guns.
Absolutely.
No firearms. Your fine will be $100. Attorney fees $250. Where do you work?
Peabody Health and Rehab.
Okay, $250.
What an appropriate place to work.
So when you work at a rehab, is that for people that are addicted to drugs?
No, it's like a physical rehab.
Oh, okay. $100 fine, attorney fees $250. Court costs are going to be, I don't know what they are on the felony. Whatever the clerk says they are, and then your booking fee is $45. Do you know how long it might take you to pay about $500 a month or $500 total?
I can get it done within 3 months. I'm a little strapped right now.
I'll give you 120 days. That's an extra month to pay you. Or you can set up an arrangement with the court services. If they want to give you something else, they can do that. They can work with you. Pay within 120 days or as otherwise directed by court services. And anything else, counsel, that I need to address?
This was a bids fee, Judge. Are you only doing the $250?
Oh, well, let me back up. No, that's treatment like a misdemeanor. I'm going to give you $100 bids application fee. And what are your attorney fees, Mr. McClendon?
Up to this point, they're $530, Judge. Probably after today, about under $600.
Okay.
Less than $100 for an
You
appearance?
will have to pay the attorney fees, $600 or whatever amount they are. Bids application fee $100. you'll have a $60 supervision fee. So what I'm going to do, instead of make you pay that then 120 days, I'm just going to order that you pay a 12th each month, 1/12 of the total minimum. And your first payment will be due January 12th of 2026. Then you'll owe a 12th on the 12th day of each month thereafter. So you don't have to come up with it all quite so quickly. And again, I'll leave that to up to the court services if they want to change that a little bit. Okay, anything else besides that? Thank you, Mr. McClellan, for reminding me about the felony bids fees. All right, if there's nothing further, Mr. Eason, you're excused from this hearing with the understanding you're going to go call probation.
And I do have a question. Where do I get my alcohol and drug evaluation? Where do I get it for that?
Probation
Okay.
will give you a list of places,
Okay,
and you have to comply with it.
absolutely.
All right. Anything else from anyone? All right, then we'll be in recess. Mr. Eason is excused from today's hearing.
North Carolina just
You may
passed
go,
a new
sir.
law that affects people who
We're
get pulled
done.
over.
Judge?
We're done.
That finishes them all. That was a short docket, wasn't it? Of course, two of them moved on.
It affects somebody who gets pulled over
All
from a
right,
traffic
thank you,
ticket.
counsel. This docket
Thank you,
is
Judge.
adjourned. You're welcome. Deputy Penland, thank you. You're excused.
All right, I think that's every.
Y'all go home. Oh, yeah, she just cut us off. New law in North Carolina, where if an officer requests it on a traffic stop, you are legally required to roll down all your tinted windows in a vehicle if you have tinted windows. What do you think about that? For officer safety, I imagine. But that'll be interesting. Also, just in the news, for those of you who are sky watchers like myself, looks like tomorrow night, Saturday night, the Geminids meteor shower is going to peak. You should be able to see 85 to 100 meteors per hour. In urban areas, it'll be down to about 20 to 30 because you'll just get to see the brighter ones. But if you're in a dark area, that's nice. So in the U.S., just for that, it's not by request. I'm showing that it is by request. If requested. It's removed. The law removed the inspections of window tint in your vehicle inspection, but it's taking a second. Got a call coming in. Hang on 1 second.
Call from
AWOL.
Well, my friend, how are you doing? Can you roll down your tinted
What's
windows
up,
for me,
Scott?
sir?
No, I'm rolling them all down.
Okay.
I'm just calling real quick.
Yeah.
Because you were saying we were thinking about how long deliberation time is.
Yeah.
So I said, this shouldn't be that difficult to go back on the channel and figure this out, right?
Yeah.
Then I started writing down all the cases you covered, and I was like, oh, man, I stepped in it.
Yeah. So you've got yourself homework for the weekend to do
I
that.
started off with Darryl Brooks, and I am at the Bad Apple River. And I will say, for the ones that I do have real quick, Darryl Brooks, 3 hours, 15 minutes. Okay. Nicholas Cruz, 7 hours. D. Cummings, short time. Matthew Terry, just over an hour. Juan David Ortiz, approximately 5 hours. Aaron Dean, 13. Mark Jensen, 6 hours. Alexander Jackson, 5.5. Alex Murdaugh, less than 3. And I'm at Zachariah Anderson, and I took a break.
That's awesome. That is amazing.
So,
well, I appreciate you.
I'm going to continue this work over the weekend.
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to say. I'm on it.
That is amazing. I'm just trying to look at how much work you have.
Oh, it's a lot.
I have 1,700 some odd videos out there.
I know. I am, to help myself, I am deleting like 1 a day trials or like little things. I'm only touching on like trials that had like 7-8 days, or it was
something that had a thumbnail, or at least we had a number.
Yeah,
of days
I'm not doing the guy at the Walmart bit by the dog. Like, I'm not doing that.
That was a good one though.
Yeah, it was. It was. But anyway,
awesome.
I'm on my homework.
Appreciate it, Ewell. Thank you very much. I'm loving all the rewatch hours I'm getting. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Bye.
Later.
Ewell's amazing. Amber was saying, I was just going to say, hey, well, let's get together to get those details added to the site. Yeah, when you're done, we'd love to get get a breakdown of that. What if you have manual windows? Yeah, don't tint them. I've got to look up the log, and now it's gone. I can't find the article again, but I missed. What is AWOL telling? He's going back and looking at all the cases we've covered since Darrell Brooks, which is when this channel really began live streaming court cases, and documenting how long the jury deliberated for each trial. Because I have a terrible memory, so he's doing it for me, and I love it. It's a lot. It's a lot. 1,700 some odd videos to go through to find the verdicts. How many cases have involved Walmart? All of them. All of them have involved Walmart in some way or another. No, there's been a couple exceptions. Is AWOL taking into account how many days each trial was? I don't think so. I think he's just looking at verdict deliberation time. But about 80% of them is a good number.
Stubby little pencil.
Got a stubby little pencil. We are still on verdict watch here in court, waiting for the jury to reach a conclusion, which I think they'll be able to do, hopefully today. But do recognize that this jury fully expected to be here for 4 weeks, and it's turning into just 2.
Call from Rona.
Hello, Rona. This is RA. How are you doing?
If you could just use your words.
Hello, Rara. Hello, Rona from the UK.
Wonderful. I love the accent. Rona, thanks for calling. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And I want to say thank you to you, obviously your family, and all the lovely people on the chat over the past years and whatever, because it's brilliant. Every day I'm on your channel, and I love it.
What part of the UK are you from?
Well, I'm in Poole, Dorset, which is right down the south.
Sorry, the sound effects are going. I'll turn them down. Down the south of Dorset?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm originally from Scotland, though.
Okay, so I sensed a little bit of that accent in you. So
The swang, yes, yeah.
Well, that is cool. I never got down to Dorset when I was over there. I pretty much from the Thames north, but not any farther north than
London.
Aylesbury.
Yeah.
So, Rickmansworth, Watford, Aylesbury, Kings Lynn. That's London. That's pretty much the only parts that I saw. But
yeah, which is, I've only, believe it or not, I've only been in London twice.
You've seen everything you need to see, right? No, London is amazing. What actually
it is, yeah.
I mean, not just the museums and the incredible art that it's available to watch there, but for me, what was most impactful was walking along and seeing the bomb scars in the walls of the buildings from World War II.
Yeah.
And then the plaque that says that, basically it was bombed and lots of damage was done, but these marks were left. And to be able to just run your fingers through the pock marks from a bomb that went off in the street. And it's like, wow, the things that I've learned in history come alive when you're able to touch it like that. And walking down and seeing the plaque that says in the room above this plaque that, penicillin was invented and discovered and like, this is cool. This is like living history around you, but loving it.
London, was damaged a lot, as in like flattened through the World War II. But our history as America, Britain, everything, the Europeans, whatever, we've all got, we've survived and we will survive. So, but my thing is on this case that we're on at the present moment.
What's that?
This murder case. I do believe that the prosecution did a marvelous job on their presenting their final arguments, and I actually believe now it's gone on. They proved the point to go to the murder one.
I agree. I think it was phenomenal. They did. It was. I didn't have any objections for how they did their closing. The case itself seemed to be trying to prove the other elements, but that's basically all they had. but we needed that to get here. We just got some motion in court. Somebody shook the camera.
Lovely.
So let me check the
Well,
web.
hang on. I've got to go to watch my other TV because I'm on you, it's cut my television off.
Oh no!
I know. It's like.
Oh no!
Where and right over there is my favorite.
There we just lost Rona. I apologize, Rona. That might have been me that pushed the button. I was trying to check Twitter to see if we had an update in court. The clock is getting jiggy with it. I'm not seeing anything. Let's see. Looking for the latest updates on the Brian Walshe trial. We hit 2.5 hours of deliberation. We've passed that a little bit ago. We are on verdict watch. Rona, thanks for the call, by the way. I apologize for the phone getting cut off. But I agree with you that the prosecution did a great job. We said this is what they needed to do. They needed to take those important aspects from the timeline, the different events, the evidence that we had, the actions that Brian took, and lay them out in the jury and tell them why they're important. And I think they did that appropriately. They were just checking to see if you're paying attention. We're paying attention, and now, of course, we're glued to the screen waiting to see if that... a lot of times the cameraman showing up and bumping the camera is because they've been called back in. Once they're on break, the camera basically gets what we call that locked down, where you can basically just tighten all the adjustment knobs and it just keeps that picture. So the camera doesn't pan, it doesn't turn or anything. And the camera turning again might be an indication of the cameraman coming back to man the camera physically for the court coming back in. So that's a lot of times our first indicator that something is happening. Does this deliberation feel long to you? Great question, Barb. That is a great question. I think if you were solidly in the guilty camp, like I was there on day one type of thing, I'm sure that this would seem like a long one. But compared to other trials, this is very normal, if not short. Especially considering that an hour of that has been lunchtime. I think it's a fight between murder 1 and murder 2. Quite likely. Rona, thank you very much. It was brilliant. I loved your accent. Thanks for calling. I appreciate that. We do have a Discord server. If you would, I know calls can be expensive overseas, but a Discord can be confusing as well. So whichever one works better for you. Just let me know if you need me to pop into the Discord server and we can connect using the computer, which is much, much cheaper if needed. I thought no verdict until Monday, says Tumwater Troy. Alexis says, thank you very much. I thought it would be 30 minutes. The prosecution were brilliant, says Sidebar. I think the jury's deciding on murder 1 versus murder 2 also. He'll definitely be convicted, though. Bap, I think you're right. I don't think the jury will look at this and say, we can't agree, we're going to be hung. I don't think there's anyone out there who says, no, it has to be pre-med, it has to be murder 1. The penalties for murder 1 and murder 2 are very similar. I think both of them can have life sentences, although with murder 2, you get life without parole. Yeah, I think with murder 1, you get life without parole. Murder 2, I think there's life with a possibility of parole. Would you ever have guests on your show like Judge Everett? If it was the right judge, yes. But I say that knowing that most judges will shy away from media. They have a responsibility not to... The judge is a lot like a moderator in a way, right? The moderators are sort of muted on the channel because they represent something else other than just their own name, their own username. They speak for the channel when they talk. And the judge, knowing that, usually most of them are very reserved. They would not ever talk about a case that they are handling, and they probably are reluctant to talk about a case that they have handled in the past, especially if there's any sort of appellate type option even available, not necessarily being worked or in the works. But yeah, if it would be rare to get a judge. I know Brian Enton, I think it was Brian, or was it Nate Eaton? I think it was Nate Eaton that they interviewed a judge, and it was sort of like a personal one-on-one behind the scenes, get to know this guy, which was really cool. But that is very rare. That was Nate Eaton. Judge Simpson gave an interview on a channel and told his backstory. That's cool. It's really cool. Judge Simpson is amazing. Is the difference between murder 1 and murder 2 just premeditation? Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much it's the one is pre-planned and one is like it just happened. Which, you know, with the definition the way it is, it's very close. It's very hard to say it happened without any premeditation, because it's an easier logical jump to say either you thought about it and did it, even for a split second, which would be murder 1, or you didn't think about it and it just happened, which would be manslaughter. Murder 2 is that middle of the road area that's hard to get to for me. Let's see. Twin Tails on Discord. Let me pull up Discord really quickly. Ready for the best audio on YouTube? Here we go. Hey, Twin Tail.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing?
Doing well.
That's good. Sorry, I just ran home from my mom's and it's like raining, like we have a rainstorm. The storm came here, so I'm winding down.
So you're a little out of breath. Well, that's all right.
Oh.
Did you vote on the jury deliberation poll that we had up a little bit earlier? What was your thoughts on how long it'd take?
2 to 4 hours. And I do think that in the next hour, they will have a verdict.
Yeah, I think that's quite likely. I was mentioning earlier that the jury had planned on, or at least were told to calendar for as much as 4 weeks of time that they would be here in court. So mentally, they had sort of blocked that out, and that might incline them to say, well, I've got up to 4 weeks off work, right? where I get this little vacation. Maybe we can take our time on this one. Whereas if they were told it was going to be 2 weeks long and we're on day 13, they'd be like, let's wrap this up. Because my boss is like, seriously, how long is this going to take?
Yes. But I do think because the case is so like mentally exhausting with everything, I do think they would rather have it over with than stretch it out.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's been a sufficient time. There are some cases you look at, like the Murdaugh trial, where it seems like we had an extra 2 weeks of just financial testimony during that. You know, all of the Alec Murdaugh fraud stuff that came in. That seemed like too much, right? Aside
that
from
definitely was too much.
Maybe just the DNA testimony, all the different people from the DNA lab in this one. The case has just moved along, and it's moved along pretty well. And as a matter of fact, so much so that I was surprised when they rested. I was like, okay, we're moving, and done already. You know, so.
Yeah, when they said that they rested, I was like, wait, don't they have like half of the witnesses left? Like, what are we doing?
Half of the witnesses they had at least noticed didn't get called. We only had 48 witnesses in this one. Oh, that was the laundry coming down the stairs.
Damn.
But,
okay.
Yeah, pretty cool. So I'm hopeful. I don't see anything yet on Twitter that there's an indication of either a juror question or a verdict. No. But we know they'll only get about 10 minutes heads up. So 10 minutes from when the camera shook, if nothing happened, we'll know it's just somebody bumped the tripod.
So if we really want this to happen, we have 10 minutes. No, 1 hour exactly now. Well, almost 1 hour. Yeah.
Well, the court does.
I just want to say hi.
Yeah. Oh, good. Thank you very much. I love talking to you. I love the crystal clear audio. So enjoy the rainstorm and send us pictures.
Thank you.
Your country's beautiful.
Oh, God. I will find time to take pictures. No worries.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good talking to you.
You too. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Twin Tail, for that. All right. Twin Tail coming in on our Discord audio channel, which is free as long as you have internet access and a Discord account. So Amber has a link where you can join and communicate that way. It's sort of designed, it's not really a place for conversations about trial in the Discord chat. It's pretty much just a place for us to connect via Discord to help people who are overseas avoid the expensive phone calls, and they can be very expensive, especially when I get long-winded, and I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Tai Chi Lemur says, I just realized I'm on my other account. Guess who? Guess who? I don't know. Chat, do you guys know who that would be? Voice chat is only set to allow only 2 people at a time. And thank you for that, Amber. Otherwise, we could have like 50 people in the 50 people in the room. And nothing. I think I'm gonna wait out in case. Let's see. Is it Drama Llama? Sloth Life? I don't. It's not Josh. I don't think it's Ivan either. Because Ivan's on Twitter right now. Nope. Okay, so give us some clues, Tai Chi Lemur, as we're waiting. Maybe Megan says Lego. Ivan would be a goat. Someone called. We're guessing who Tai Chi Lemur's alt account is on YouTube. Have there been any jury questions? B. Shalis, there have not yet that we know of, but the camera shook about 8 minutes ago, and the judge said we get 10 minutes notice to get back in court if something happens. So it could have a jury question. It could have a verdict. But we haven't got any notification online about that yet. So if you guys see anything, let me know. Is it Thor? It's not Mrs. R.A. Let's play 20 questions. Are you an animal? Is it Phil? Phil, is that you? Let's see. I don't know who it is. Is it Tash? Is it Adam? I don't think it's Adam. Adam's work schedule conflicts with watching now. Starts with a T. I'm British. Okay, we're getting closer. Tishamingolingo says it's not me. It's not me. This is my brother from another mother. It's not AWOL. I don't know who it is. We're all like, next hint, please. Teresa? This is a spam call. Hang on.
Call
Hello?
from
Oh.
Allie B from Tennessee. To accept,
Allie B,
press 1.
it comes up as a spam call. I'm sorry. I look at your number and the area code looked like a different number, which is where the spam calls come from. Allie B, how are you doing?
I'm not a spam.
I know, but I get spam calls from area code 801, and yours comes in with a very similar area code. And I just glanced at it. I'm like, yay, a spammer. But it was you, and I'm happy it's you. I'm not disappointed in any way. But
Okay, so a couple of things keep bugging me. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the trial. Okay, when it comes to the best friend's testimony at the end, it was very, very emotional. Right. I was kind of feeling her, and I feel like Anna, is it Anna or Anna? Anna, was very like nervous and worried. And, Brian comes across as one of those creepy, like he's real calm, but like he probably could be psycho behind closed doors, Right. What are your thoughts? Do you think that like when she was at home and no one was around that he was really angry? Or because I'm really trying to figure out how this happened. And I know we've talked about it, but it's kind of bugging my ADD brain.
You'll have to ask the question again, but you're talking about Alyssa, the best friend, Alyssa Kirby, who testified, who was best friends with Anna. She was friends with Anna since Anna moved to D.C. And now ask that again about Brian. What was he like?
I just wonder if he was like violent and mean. Sorry, hold on. If he was like violent and mean to her, if there was a lot of riff like at home and that, or if it was.
Allie B, hold on.
And I see where there's a jury question.
Okay, I'll answer that in just a second.
I'll hang up.
Okay, thanks, Allie B. I would say
saw the question.
We got no evidence of that.
My suggestion is that we, there are 265 exhibits, and I ordinarily have sent in an exhibit list that the parties have reviewed, and I would think that would be an appropriate way to assist them in their evaluation of the evidence, but it needs to be cleaned up. In particular, on a quick review of it, photo 52 should say something other than butcher paper.
Yes. And 189?
Also the same term?
No.
What were you calling it? What kind of paper? Bench?
Bench paper.
It's butcher paper. We're going to call it bench paper because you can't say butcher paper in this case.
That term is used throughout. So what is it that term is used in other numbers? So is it something about that particular photo that is problematic with that description?
Oh, I just don't like it, but
I know you don't like it, but I'm trying to distinguish between, I think there was one witness who used that term butcher paper as opposed to bench paper, and I don't think it was the witness that was associated with that. This is just the old-fashioned terminology that people often use to describe that paper. I think I used it at the side of the bench one time, not in front of the jury, but just with you. But I think that is there's a more neutral characterization that would be appropriate and more in line with what the witnesses actually testified to. But as to the other language in 189, it seems to me that that's what the witness testified to, right?
That's right. Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody, let's all take a moment to look through the list right now and see if there's anything. I'm going to do that right now. The answer to their question is 97, by the way.
Yes.
Let me just take the time
I'm
to
guessing
look
they
through
asked
these.
what is
And you do
95
the
plus
same.
2? No, I don't know. They asked a question about the exhibits, which would probably be answered if they had an exhibit list. So how many pieces of evidence or something like that? But how many different pieces of evidence were found in the garbage, maybe? 97? In answer to Allie's question, here's what I'll say. You asked Allie about if Brian might have been violent, if there were problems in the home that way. I will say this. I can't answer that for myself, but throughout this trial, having watched chat, a lot of you have mentioned that from your own experience, you recognize different traits in Brian that you have recognized in other problematic relationships that you've either been a witness to or been part of. But as far as the jury is concerned, no evidence has come in that that there was any physical problems as far as altercations, domestic disputes, things like that in the relationship. All the testimony was that they basically were in love, that everything was happy and everything was good. We didn't hear anything more than that other than Brian saying, hey, we had an argument about this on this date, but even that was nothing physical. All right. The answer to the question is 97, by the way. That's a good little soundbite. I don't know what else the question could be. Wrong answers only. 97. What was the juror's question? It was already seen by the jury and described as bench paper. Why change it now? I think that currently on the list as it exists, it's listed as butcher paper. The defense doesn't like that.
Aside from that one suggestion, the change.
Okay.
Best year for music.
Oh.
What year were the children born or something?
All right, so I'm going to write back to the jurors, and I will give them the name of, or the number of the photo, which is, I'll answer it as exhibit number 97, and here's an exhibit list to assist you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I muted that call. Call back. Call back. It sounds like the answer is going to be given in a written note passed back to the jurors, which means deliberations are continuing throughout this. I have not stopped the clock. Does anyone know what Exhibit 97 was? A photo of some kind. Why didn't they give them an exhibit list the first time? Because the exhibit list is typically not evidence. And they only get evidence sent back. Jury question was, what's the temperature in the courthouse right now? 97.
Here you go, Madam Clerk. If you want to look at it, you're welcome to. It's pretty straightforward. Thank you.
Madam Clerk. So the jurors will receive their answer via written letter delivered through the clerk and the bailiff. We don't know what the question is yet, so it's possible they were looking for something. 97 needs to happen. You know it's going to turn into this, and then I'm going to have to go full In-N-Out Burger and just get rid of the numbers. How many Christmas presents have you bought? Jurors will receive answer via carrier pigeon. Number of people out of 100 that think he's guilty. I wanted a verdict. Yes, a verdict might be close. Sometimes we've had jurors that have asked questions, and even before the answer comes back to them, they say, never mind, we've got a verdict. So that's a possibility. And Tim's verdict comes in shortly after the jury hears from the court. Fingers crossed. Tell you what I like about this. This is the first time the jury has reached out to the court saying, hey, we have a question. What I hate is when the jury reaches out to the court and says, okay, we've got a question, and they present the question, and the answer is, jurors, it's like a form letter. Jurors, you have received all the evidence in this case. Please continue deliberating. And they're like, we just need clarification on one thing. And when they get that form letter answer, and they know it's a form letter, okay, because it's basically codified in law, they shut up. They stop asking questions. They're like, well, I guess we're on our own. And I don't like that. I wish that there was a way you could answer it and say, you know, what I can do and what I can't do. Not this whole, well, if they ask again, if they really want it, then we'll give them this. But right now that we should just say, you have all the evidence before you, continue deliberating. Let's see. Linda Lou, what's the 6-7 thing? I missed that, and I knew you guys were laughing about it. Dictionary.com, I believe, named 6-7 as the word of the year for this year. 6-7 is a phrase that mostly younger kids use, which literally has no meaning. It's used, and it's funny, it's viral because there is no meaning, and people are like, what does that even mean? And that's the funny thing. I said something, and you're trying to figure out what it means, but it doesn't mean anything, which is why it's funny. So the word of the year has no definition, and it's 2 numbers. The irony there is thick. It's not a word. It's a number. It's 2 numbers, and there's no definition. I don't know why dictionary.com would go there, but it's brain rot banter. Sometimes it's summarized as that. Basically, the effect of just scrolling social media for hours, consuming AI-generated information leads you to 6-7. It means nothing. Who decided the octopus stickers look good for decor? What? Where are the octopus stickers? Are you talking about the trim on the wall? My next birthday, I'll be 67. My 11-year-old granddaughter keeps saying it and laughing. So basically, kid stuff I'll never understand. Yeah. It's like a meme joke. Meme, M-E-M-E. It's a throwaway line in a rap song. Tai Chi Lemur, did we figure out who you are? I mean, you know, but did we figure it out? Allie B from Tennessee says we should play that game where you act out a word and we guess. Charades, I think, is what you're talking about. And I make a pretty mean vacuum cleaner in charades. I nail it every time, but those are the only words I'm really good with. Yes, we did. Who are you? Who are you? Ali G says, I did. Or is it Ali G? Asked about evidence for Exhibit 97, which is a picture of the Prada purse. Okay, Jen, thank you for this. The Prada purse, both Anna and Brian DNA found on the purse found in the dumpster trash.
In front of the Walmart.
Nexus Lexus, you're correct. Just behind the witness stand, there is some etching on the glass. I believe it says courtroom. There might even be a number, but it's visible from the outside in correctly. But it's the Prada purse, says Josh. Amazing you guys have notes on that. Okay. All right. Okay, my favorite metal detecting store has a contest to win a metal detector. Let's see what it says. Do I have to buy something or can I just enter? The metal detector is not in the budget. Christmas was in the budget, that's all. Metal detector giveaway. Enter with your email. Okay. Your name. All right. My phone number. I accept the terms of the privacy policy. Now I'm going to get some spam calls. Okay, so now they wanted me to do a million things. Confirm your email to be eligible. Complete all the mandate. That's a scam. That's a scam. I just fell for it. No, it's a good company. I buy metal detectors from them. Can we please see Exhibit 97? I don't have it easily accessible. We've made the connection. Clever Name says the boy asked for a metal detector and I told him I might know a guy, so I have some ideas. Metal detectors are great gifts. I will tell you this, though. They make better gifts if you have somebody who could be a mentor to the recipient in the metal detecting. Because metal detectors, the idea is you just turn it on and swing it, and it tells you where money is. In actuality, it's much more swinging and less money. But each detector is different, how they work, and it takes a lot to learn the detector. I didn't, like on my high-end detector that was very, very expensive and waterproof and everything, I didn't really understand what it was trying to tell me with all the beeps and whistles it was making until I'd put in about 200 hours using it. But that's a high learning curve. There are simpler ones that you can use that are better for starting. But once you start, and if you actually like it, you'll immediately want to upgrade, because the entry ones that are easy to use are not very good at doing exactly what you want to do. They're easy to use, but they just don't find anything because they don't have the strength and the power and the discrimination abilities that are needed. So if you can find a club or somebody who does metal detecting who would be able to help you understand, help you set it up and understand what the settings mean, that's the best way to do it. It's more swinging and less money. Sounds like my life. Yeah. Talking about swinging a coil, if that makes a difference, over the dirt. Watch the Hoover Boys; they're great. Yeah, watching YouTubes on it are good enough. If you can learn from a video, there are videos on every model of metal detector out there. I would say I have spent way too much on metal detector, hasn't found anything substantial or at all. I wouldn't stop doing it. I mean, I didn't find my first gold coin until I did, right? And that was a couple years in. But that gold coin, value-wise, is over $2,000 for a single coin. My metal detector, just finding loose change in a park, mostly that has probably fallen out in the last 2 or 3 years out of people's pockets, would pay for itself every year when I was detecting. Let's see. Did they ever retrieve the ring? I can't see him throwing it in the garbage with her. If it was a real ring, I can't see him throwing it away either. I've tossed it out there that I think that it might be a fake ring. Did the jury have a question? Yes, and it was something, whatever their question was, it caused the judge to answer the question with the answer is 97, Exhibit 97, which is the Prada purse. and possibly send them a exhibit list summary or table of contents for the exhibits. What about magnet fishing? I like the idea, but in practicality, it's a very dirty, messy, hard job to do magnet fishing. You find a lot of junk, a ton of junk. Magnets don't find silver and gold. It's not magnetic. Dad once paid his mortgage with a coin he metal detected back in the 80s. Okay, so I went metal detecting with a guy named Pete, and Pete found a pine tree shilling. I'm not sure if I can say what state he found it in. So in colonial America, basically one of the first coins minted in America. He found one of those. That's the sort of coin that can pay your mortgage. Amazing find. Fun story there too. There's no way the ring was a real diamond. Brian couldn't afford that. That's what I was thinking. The ring was purchased at a time when money was tight. I just don't think... oh my goodness, this is the best show ever. He didn't have money to buy a ring. Speaking of The Detectorists, which is an amazing show out of the UK, the authors either metal detect themselves or did their research, because they nailed the hobby so well. The little intricacies of how the metal detectorists think and look at each other and everything else. It's so good. It gets funnier the more you know about metal detecting, and it's funny on its own. The ring was purchased when money was tight and federal fraud charges were high. RA is detecting and missing that 97 is Anna on the rug. Okay, Autobody Gal, I thought it said it was the Prada purse, but 97 is the picture of her on the rug where they cropped out the child. You think the ring is CZ? I wouldn't be surprised. Wasn't Brian looking at the Blue Diamond site? I don't know. Brian sold fake Picassos. Of course he's going to buy a fake ring. The Curse of Oak Island show made me give up on the possibility of finding anything. Okay, that show, it's like we found another sliver of what could be wood. Yeah, that's made for TV. It's made for TV. Actually hunting for treasure, hunting for history is so much more fun than that show portrays it as. And a lot more work too. The rug pick would make more sense to me. TJ Maxx also sells affordable diamond-like rings and jewelry. If it was a real ring, the provenance of the ring would be known. We would have receipts, we would have store information, and we'd definitely either have the ring or, I don't know. The ring could have been thrown away, but the idea, hang on, I've got to sneeze. Nope, it's not going to happen. The idea that the ring was just disposed of with the garbage, it doesn't stand to reason when he was literally using tools to dismember the body down to very small parts, okay? Using items that were designed to separate appendages. It would make sense that he gained access to the ring. The ring would have papers. It would have papers. Real diamonds have serial numbers. There would be an insurance claim. There'd be something. I make jewelry so that there are so many better gemstones than diamonds. Making jewelry is cool. We would have insurance on the ring. Yes, this is probably the best thing. They would have had insurance on the ring. Because you don't just, what happens if you lose the stone? Justice Served says 97 is a purse on butcher paper. Jen, that makes sense. because we did have the talk about the butcher paper, right? The judge brought that up. I've been screaming about question number 97. Jury is asking for the photo of Anna laying on the carpet. We've got two things. Some people say 97 is her laying on the carpet. Some people say it's the purse on the butcher paper. We know the judge was talking about the butcher paper, and they objected to the term butcher paper. They talked about whether they want to call it craft paper or bench paper or something else. The test is working, Nicole. One day I'll show you my other YouTube channel with the jewelry. Do you do videos of making jewelry? Do share. Judge said it was a photo. Day 3, Exhibit 97. Lawyer Lee says it's Anna laying on the rug. All right, let's, since we have nothing else going on, give us a minute. Let's see if we can hunt this down. Open up DaVinci Resolve and pull in some video, shall we? All right, day 3 would be, I'll see, it started on a Monday, so that would be a Wednesday, right? Is that correct? What was the date on day 3? Linda Lou, thank you for being a member. 14 months, but been here since Brooks. That makes you an OG. Can you explain cell phone significance? Anna's is missing. He said his was missing, but in the time his was missing, actions were performed on that cell phone that would indicate that he had control to the cell phone, charged it, plugged it in, deleted a search. That was the restaurant. So it's just something that he lied about. EDB just replayed it, said 97 is Anna on the rug. She takes great notes. She's a lawyer. Of course she does. What inference can we make if it's a photo of her on the rug? Why would the jury want to see it? Couple things. The evidence of the parts of the rug with blood on them that were found, this could go to premeditation. This is evidence that was upstairs, not downstairs where the body was dismembered. This would be evidence that a crime occurred upstairs and would go to premeditation. Well, it would at least go to murder instead of premeditation. It would go to murder instead of sudden, unexplained death. Because why else would the rug be bloody and chopped up? Doesn't RA have paid staff? Oh, you're funny, Walger. Found pickles at Kroger. Need to send to burner, but couldn't, so posted on Facebook. Are they? I'm looking for spicy maple bourbon pickles. I cannot find them. They're not even at the Food Lion anymore. Emily D. Baker, I believe she worked in the same office or worked with or near Josh from Courtroom Confidential. Isn't that true? Am I just putting that out there? Walmart doesn't have them anymore. They're not carrying them. At least mine isn't. Maybe you can get them online. Okay, so what was the date for the 3rd? We'll pull it up and look at it really quickly. was the date for the third day of court? Same as Alan Jackson also. Yes. December 3rd was a Wednesday. But what was was that when court started? See, we started December 1st. Yeah, so it was the 3rd. Pull in my videos from December 3rd. We have this one. Was the landlord, right? Okay. Here we go. I think I've got it. Let's go full screen and bring in the replay machine. So, let's see. If we roll back to this, let's see if this is it.
Now, sir, I neglected to ask you this. When you rented the home to the Walsh family, was it furnished?
Yes, partially furnished, yes.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
I think we have to go back a little bit. Let me turn off the sound while I scroll backwards for a second. Okay, here's the picture. I just want to make sure this is number 97. So he's got to go get it from him. Okay, he's going to present the picture right here. Okay.
And, counsel, here I am. Approach one more time.
You may.
Thank you. Mr. Capizzoli, I'm handing you a photograph. Sir, do you recognize the room of that the photograph's taken in?
Yes.
Do you recognize the person in that photograph?
Well, I think it's Anna.
Okay. And the room, is it a fair and accurate depiction of the room that you recognize?
Yes.
And what room is it that you recognize?
It's the living room or den. Yep.
The Commonwealth would seek to have this marked as the next exhibit, Your Honor.
Any objection? Photo is now in evidence as Exhibit 97.
There it is, Exhibit 97. And we'll show it on the screen here one more time. Emily Baker for the win.
Your Honor, if the Commonwealth may publish briefly.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, can we have still 3? Mr. Capizzoli, how do you recognize this is the living room?
So when you walk in the front door, it's the room to the...
Okay, so here's our picture of Exhibit 97. This is a still frame from a video. You can see that it's like a shorts, like a vertical video. That's the rug that was found cut up. No ring visible here. I don't see anything else that would be really of interest that we need. She's playing with her child. Sorry, she's playing with her child who was cropped off the picture. I'm not sure which side it was. Probably off towards the right. What is that in the background? Is it like a Dremel tool on the ground back there? There's a cord plugged into it. Anyway, that is... there's Exhibit 97, so that's what the jury asked for. I got to be able to see. All right. That's from our Instagram. The full video is public on Instagram. I know, but I'm not going to show the pictures of the child when the courts tried so hard to keep them protected. They are in state custody. Trouble. I've heard that. My store does not carry the spicy maple bourbon pickles. I've looked under Better Goods. The best they have is just spicy sandwich pickles. I need the spicy maple bourbon pickle. I just haven't found that one in my store yet. I will find them, though. I'll keep looking. And the jars got smaller, and they're the same price as well. So everything got smaller, and it's the same price as the big jar. How do you recognize this as the living room? Because it's my house. Because I own it. It's mine. I lived there. Allie, the state doesn't talk a lot about it, but basically, when one parent is in jail and the other is in the morgue, for lack of a better term, the state steps in if there's not a will in place that talks about where the desire would go to, have our children turned over to this family member or something. The state can step in the interest of the children and do what they do. We're going to go to RA's Walmart to protest the lack of pickles. You're taking your life in your own hands there. Walmart is a scary place for me. Did they ever locate any of her remains? Not beyond what you heard in testimony today with... Whoa. Fire truck. Not beyond what you heard in testimony. Just added 9-7 to the instructions. I would say no. They found some what they called apparent tissue, but nothing that could be identified as a body part or bone or anything else that belonged to her. This is why a living family trust is so important. Nicole says, my mind always goes back to the children. Where were they during all the stuff Brian did? Did they hear or see anything? It's terrible. Nicole, I personally think that the possibility that they saw something, at least one of them saw something, is high. And I drew that conclusion from the fact that we have, testimony that the oldest child, who I believe his name starts with a T, came down and joined the adults even after bed. It was time for bed, but he came down and hung out for a time. I believe that was the guest was still over, Mr. Jem, but that oldest child as well came up to Brian and the police officer when the police officer was interviewing him in his house and had drawn a picture for them and was showing both of them this picture. And the police officer sort of wanted to know what was in the picture, and Brian was sort of shutting down. Oh, okay, it's just whatever. Go away, we're going to talk now. I wonder if the child saw something. Has the jury been given a time to stop and call it a date? They have not, but in previous days, this is the stopping time. 4 o'clock. The judge likes to go home, like, right now. I think he set his phone back with the oldest child so he would be busy and Brian Walsh would have the excuse. Used to sit on the steps and listen to my parents. As kids, we would like sneak up the stairs and listen. Like when we had a family friend that would come over. He was a fun guy. He used to, when we were little kids, our family lived in a little fourplex apartment, which technically was on an island, but that's a different story because it's in the western United States, in Utah. But we lived on an island, in a river, a river island, and our upstairs neighbor told the most amazing stories, and he was the most intense person. And I don't know what happened, accident, injury, or whatever, but at some point in his life, he had lost one of his eyes. So he had a glass eye. And so the glass eye was always, I mean, it was the technology back then in the, early 80s. The glass eye was just that. It was like basically a marble that's painted to look like an eye. It's not going to fool anybody, right? But it's a filler. And the cool thing was that he would take it out and show people. And I was too scared to ask him, but I always wanted to see him take his eye out, and I never got to see it. But he would come to our house, and my parents would have philosophical conversations with him. And he would sit in the rocking chair in our house, and he'd rock back and forth like to the extreme that the rocking chair can handle it. And then he'd pause, and he'd be like forward, leaning forward and share a thought or something, and then go back to rocking. It was so fun to watch and listen to him talk, even though the conversation itself was over my head. But as a kid, we would sit and listen, And I remember just listening at the top of the stairs to listen. What are the big kids and the adults doing for the rest of the kids who had been sent to bed already? Have Mrs. R.A. make those pickles for you. They're tasty and fresh. Haven't made pickles since I was a kid. And I say that because my mom made them. I didn't do anything. Maybe I picked them, the cucumbers. My uncle's best friend has a glass eye, and he took it out for us. His name was Larry. It's just cool. It's cool. Sam's has the pickles? Sam's was the brand. I don't think Sam's Club does the spice maple bourbon, though. Gisela pulled the clip as well. Yeah, it's the same one we just showed you here. It's her laying on the rug. Thanks, Emily, for beating all of us to it. Is there any news on when they might be back? The judge has not told us, but we're approaching the 4-hour mark. I was anticipating the 4 hours would get us to the end of the day in this court, that the courthouse was going to shut down and go home. As a child, I watched entire movies from the hallway, and my parents didn't catch me. I'm sure the oldest child has seen or heard something. That's funny. I tried to make pickled eggs by sticking a hard-boiled egg in the spicy maple bourbon pickle juice. I nearly killed myself, I think. I opened it up. It did not smell good at all. It was not good. So I probably need a recipe to follow. Usually once the jury gets the case, the courthouse hours tend to extend further than normal operation schedule. Those sirens are going by my house. Looks like a fire department. I wonder what their question means. Which way are they leaning? We can guess that it's about the rug, right? I don't see any jewelry in that picture. Actually, let me zoom in a little bit because we can. Let's see. It's this one, right? Yeah, it's that one. Hold on, let me prep the picture so I can see what we're dealing with. I'm going to zoom in and see if we can see any jewelry at all. Position Y. Okay. So looking at, this is at, you're looking at my editing screen. This is what you want to see. I can't tell. It doesn't look like she's wearing a necklace. It's possible. That might just be like the, the little depression at the top of your rib cage and the bottom of your throat. I don't see any ring. All the shadows of where the necklace and the ring could be caused just by the gap in the fingers or the depression in your throat. So if that's the case, if it's not for the jewelry, okay, in this picture, then they're probably looking at it for the rug. And comparing the rug to the bloody rug. And I think the rug is sound evidence that something happened upstairs. Okay. Melissa, thank you very much. We're trying to get some info right now. Okay. That was on the main floor. Yes, the main floor. Are they allowed to knock on the juror's door and say it's time to go home? Yes. They're just not allowed to invade the province of the jury and ask about how are things going in there. I think the ring's on the left hand. Okay, I can see that. The rug is sound evidence. Just watching for updates here. The court TV provided on their Twitter update. The jury in the Brian Walshe trial has a question about two exhibits. Commonwealth Exhibit 189, which is a photo of the plastic container with crumpled substance and blood clots, and Commonwealth Exhibit 97, Anna laying on a rug. Plastic container with blood clots was this one, right? That's a gloved hand holding the plastic container. And it does look pretty gruesome in the background. Jury, I guess, allowed to continue deliberating. This is probably the latest they've been at the courthouse since they were summoned. Laura says, I missed closings. How were they? The defense was long. They went first, and the state went second, and it was short. And I liked the state's better. The defense seemed to be grasping at something that they couldn't quite get hold of. This idea that something had happened and it was terrible and tragic, but they couldn't say that it was natural. They couldn't say, and there's no evidence to support that. They just have to say that something happened and it was the tragic event, and Brian was confused. But the way they were so restricted in how they could describe on a passing, their definition is broad enough that you could insert murder here and it would fit. So I don't think that did them a lot of good, but they just really had their hands tied behind their back. There's nothing really that was available to them. Nicole Meredith, 77, happy to be part of this community. 18 months. Nicole, thank you very much. Thank you. Congratulations on your 18-month anniversary. Memberversary. Don't ignore the boss. Uh-oh. Recovery Addict, sorry to be uninformed, but what was the question and its relevance? We didn't hear the question read out. Court TV Twitter told us they were looking for those 2 pieces of evidence. We think that it had something to do with the rug. Let me see if I can make this full screen. The rug that Anna was found was laying on in the photograph in Exhibit 97. Let me undo this really quickly. Okay. So here in Exhibit 7, this rug that you see down there was cut up in pieces and thrown away. They found chunks of it, and some of it did have blood on it that tested positive for, sorry, you can't see that, can you? This rug had blood on it that matched Anna. The rug was upstairs. The dismembering, we believe, took place downstairs. But if the rug got blood on it, it stands to reason there was a reason the rug was brought down. And that would be that she was already bleeding and it had to be contained and brought down that way. So I think that goes to prove the murder side of it. As to the premeditation, that needs some other pieces of evidence to build that side, but I think they got there as well. It was replaced. He did buy replacement rugs at Home Goods. Pieces found in the trash. It does. I think it goes to prove that it wasn't a natural death. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Who's the Wild West?
It's the Wild West. What?
Your Honor, we're back on the record in Commonwealth versus Walshe.
Thank you. As is my custom, at 4 o'clock, I send in a note on every day the jury's deliberating, asking if they want to stay until 4:30. That note will be marked as the next exhibit for identification. And it gives them the option of staying until 4:30 or suspending and coming back on Monday in this instance, and they've elected to do the latter.
Okay, Monday
so
it
we'll
is.
bring them in, send them on their way.
So we will stop the timer.
R for ID, so marked. Thank you.
We're stopping the timer at 3 hours, 50 minutes, and 45 seconds of deliberation time as the jury is being brought in. Nicole Meredith, thank you very much for the memberversary. I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. It makes all this possible. The jury's going to come back on Monday. This will continue Monday morning.
All rise to the court. Jurors entering.
I'm going to go see Mom, but otherwise I would. Maybe on Monday if we're...
I need to go to Daytona, Jen. The jurors are going home. She said they want to do the latter. They're coming back on Monday.
Welcome back, jurors, to the courtroom. Again, thank you for your work today. And I'm going to send you on your way for the weekend. I remind you, jurors, that the rules still apply. They will apply until you reach your unanimous verdict. I remind you of those rules now, jurors. Don't speak to anyone about this case. Don't do any research about this case. Continue to have open minds as you evaluate the case and as you wait to see if you are going to evaluate the case. Don't access any social media or any news media over the weekend. Hope you have a good weekend. Get some rest, and we'll see you back here ready to work on Monday morning. Thank you, jurors.
So no verdict music today.
Jurors, follow me.
As the jurors now go home, it is 4:16. They got a note at 4 o'clock, as is the judge's custom, to ask them, do you want to keep going till 4:30? Which is basically like, you have to go home now. They chose to go home now. They have more work to do. And I'm okay with that. Ruth Ann, thank you. 35 months makes you an OG. Love this community. Thank you, RA, for providing it. Thank you. Thanks for making this community what it is. Ruth Ann, thank you. And you've been here since the beginning. Anything else? Judge
Just
Dindher.
as short as council, make sure you're back here a few minutes before 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the judge, she's got her, she gets, that's her getting ready position. When she's in that position on the bench, you know she's headed for the door. And it was, in fact, where she went. So we are done with verdict watch for today, which means we're going to have a day 11 in this trial. Today was 10 days in. Just as a quick recap in this case, day one, we had 2 witnesses. We had Detective Sergeant Harrison Schmidt, lead investigator, and we had 1 witness day 1. Day 2, we had Nicholas Goering, Massachusetts State Police. Day 3, we ended Goering, and then it just sped up from there. We had a ton of stuff. We had JetBlue, we had the canine handler, we had the Lyft superintendent, or the Lyft compliance specialist, the Uber technologies guy, the police officer from Swampscott. We had Amy Waterman, Peter Capozzoli, life insurance salesman was up there, Davis Gould from the Massachusetts State Crime Lab. And it took us all the way to day 4. Day 4 was crazy because we had a whole ton of witnesses there as well. We had Anna at the nail salon, the learning experience guy who knew them from the daycare, Sandra Waldrop, the general manager of the apartments. We had security video there. We got text messages, pings, all sorts of things there. It got crazy fast. Day 5, a little bit slower with Trooper Proctor being mentioned as the case agent on day 5. That was Friday. They searched the trash. They looked at the debris to see if there was any human tissue there. Day 6, we got a ton of stuff in with information about Anna, her payment, her salary, her compensation, $220,000 plus bonus. Her bonus was bigger than his earnings for the year. About $300,000 all in all, with $220,000 of it being base salary. Let's see, we had Gould was called back again. Gould was called up again. Talked about the black jacket, the socks, and that were dried in a cabinet and bagged. Let's see, we had different security officers, shift leads from Walgreens, Vin and Liquors, got video from them. Lowe's Home Improvement, we got that murder shopping trip video, and the failed self-checkout, which he failed many times on this one. Stop and Shop came in all on the 6th. We got CVS with the hydrogen peroxide, which ended up stealing a few bottles because things went bad on the self-checkout. And the crime lab criminalist with the beginning of the DNA. Day 7 is where DNA just took over most of the day. We had everyone from the DNA crime lab who has ever worked there come in and testify that they worked there for at least one day. And then we finally got to the end where we found out that that the DNA results did turn up. Blood on the slippers, blood on the towels, blood on the Tyvek suit, and all the different things. And basically it was everyone's blood who you'd expect to be there. On the inside of the Tyvek suit, where Brian did have cuts on his hands and stuff, there was blood from Anna and from him. On the outside, there was blood from Anna. We had the tissue sample belonged to Anna. The basement floor stain, Anna and one other male, but not Brian. That's an interesting point. The hacksaw had 2 places that were tested. Both of the blood results came back to Anna. We had the white towel, that was Anna's blood. The apparent hairs with blood on them, that was Anna's. Rug stain, Anna, that's the carpet, the rug stain we were talking about. That we saw her laying down on Exhibit 97. The hatchet head had Anna's blood. And then the tape gauze had Brian's blood, and just Brian's blood. We believe that was probably a bandage that he used to bandage up his cut finger. Which it's reasonable to conclude that he cut his fingers either in doing the stabby or doing the cutty. And because we know that he was buying Band-Aids before he was searching for how to dispose of a body, we think it happened during the stabby portion, which would be an injury while committing murder. That was day 7. We got lots of those. Home goods, all the DNA stuff. Home goods videos were the candles and the returns, the towels, the rugs, the bath mats. Day 8, we had Mr. Jem on the stand, who was good but struggled to get his testimony in. His demeanor on the stand and his desire to express himself in a certain way almost became a stumbling block for him to get the testimony in. Lucky for us, there was another witness that could basically give us the same thing, and that was Anna's friend. We talked about a little bit earlier, Alyssa Kirby, who finished off that day and was able to testify basically to all the same things that Jem was trying to say but couldn't come in because of how he was saying them. Or how he remembered them because of the passage of time. We also got the Home Depot, his shopping trip, $453 worth of murder aisle items there. We got the Chatham West property manager with the videos of the dumpster, which was probably the worst video ever. TJ Maxx, videos of him buying men's clothes, probably to replace clothes that he had just Googled. Is it better to wash these or throw them away? I think he threw them away. Day 9, there were no witnesses because the state rested and defense rested that morning. And so the jury was sent home first thing. All we did was work on jury instructions, the jury charge. And then today is day 10, where we had the closing arguments this morning. Both sides got 45 minutes. The defense took an hour and 10 minutes, and the prosecution took like 33 minutes, something like that. And now here we are. Jury's been deliberating for 3 hours and 50 minutes, and they're going home for the weekend. They'll pick it up again on Monday. Is that good news for Brian? I don't think he can determine good news or not. I don't think looking at Exhibit 97 is good news for Brian. Exhibit 97 is a picture of the rug that he bought to replace to hide the fact that the first one was cut up and had blood on it. And they found it. So I can't see how that could be good news for him, because it is, in my opinion, an indication that the murder was a murder, first of all, and not a sudden unexplained death where she just fell asleep in bed and never woke up. And he came up after cleaning the kitchen like a good husband does, and lo and behold, his wife has passed away. How does her blood get on the rug if she died upstairs in bed, peacefully in her sleep from some unexplained natural occurrence, and then he dragged her downstairs and cut her up in the basement? Why is that rug cut up? It just does not make sense. The rug was cut up into pieces like she was because he had to get rid of the evidence. The rug was evidence. So I don't think it's good for him. All right, that takes us to the end of the day. We're done. We're done. There are 2 Tyvek suits, different sizes. Sounds like you made it to first degree from yesterday. I did. The judge helped me do that when she was discussing things with the jury and getting prepped for today and going forward. Just hearing the timeline and the order of things that happened, and specifically the information about the booties that he bought, the Tyvek booties. I've got some. They're great. They work great. But that helped me. It does not make sense that he would buy Tyvek booties the same time he's buying all the tools to dismember her, and then also have both his and her slippers covered in blood. If she died of natural causes, there would be no blood, first of all. Okay? There would just be a body. We're talking day 1 of her being dead. He's going to the store. He's Googling how to get rid of a body. Before he buys any protective materials, those booties, or not the booties, those slippers, his and hers, are covered in blood. It had for me, that has to be murder. Was there a verdict? There is not yet. The jury, what do you use them for? We use them for a Halloween costume for my kids. We did a little crime scene Halloween display on our front steps, which we live streamed, including the actual crime where our candy bowl was stolen from right in front of us, like from inches, and they grabbed it, the brazen little, anyway. So that's what they're for. All right, that takes us to the end of the day. I'm excited to be able to think this over like the jury is all weekend, but they can't deliberate until they're back together Monday morning. 9 o'clock, they're going to start the timer again. We'll start that then as well and continue. See if maybe just the weekend is all they needed. or if they've only just begun in their deliberation. It could take a little while. Am I wrong in thinking the dismemberment proves consciousness of guilt? No, you're not. You're not. I think that's a logical conclusion that a juror could come to. Definitely verdict Monday, says Great Lady Down. He's so cooked, says Stephanie. Since we can only speculate, says AWOL, what if he started doing the deed and realized this is going to be messy? Let me get some suits, aka why his slippers were all bloody. Well, then explain to me why hers were all bloody. They're different sizes. He didn't just decide to wear hers and then his. Hers are small, his are big. They're very different sized people. Hers are bloody because that's what the last thing she was wearing on her feet. And his are bloody because that's what he was wearing when he did it. That's my thoughts anyway. All right, tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe. Till we go live again Monday morning. Monday morning, we will be back, and we'll continue this. Thank you all. It's been wonderful. I have to say a huge thank you to the generous gifters who gifted memberships. It is so nice to see so many of you in green. You guys are absolutely incredible. Your support of the channel and support of each other is inspiring. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To my incredible mods, thank you once again for not quitting on me in spite of what I throw at you. You guys are amazing. You guys have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Back, taking it easy.
What more do you need to see?
Hello?
Because he's the guy.
Are we going to address subject matter jurisdiction?
There's nothing in the order that restrains you from talking to cats.
Well, thank you. If you could just use your words.
You don't put a diplomatic plate on a hoopty.
I'm not going to argue about semantics here.
Somebody just sent me a video of roaches fighting. I don't know who won.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
Don't miss the forest for the trees.
Have them send someone with more.